this video is meant to show you the challenge you'll have and the pitfalls you have in trying to initialize cameras. Well, it's not working for me, so here's the correct way to do it. The reason the NVR doesn't see the camera is the camera's default IP ends in 108, and so does the NVR. They're the same IP address. That's what I'm trying to say. So the camera is not 109. This is just an example I'm showing you because we initialize some cameras and we'll put them on 109 for ease of use. On an uninitialized camera, you'll just have this IP address be 108. And that's also the default IP address of the NVR. So how do you go about doing this? Well, you need to make sure your NVR is not 108. You'll see here, let me show you how I did that. Went back in this main menu, go to Network, TCP IP, and you'll see here it says 108, 1.108. That's the one I'm looking for. Hit Modify and change this to something else like 110, because my purpose for this video is initializing the camera and setting it to 109. So now I set it to 110. Hit Apply. The NVR will change this IP to 110. Now make sure you also see that here, this thing has two NICs. This NVR has two NICs, or network ports. Make sure you're plugged into the LAN 1, which is NIC 1, which is now set to 110. All right. Now I go back into camera, and I make sure I'm looking for uninitialized, filter none, hit search device. And look at there, the camera just showed up. That's because this camera is also 108. I hope you're catching on to this. That's why you can't see your cameras on network. Again, for this to work, you've got to have a simple router PoE switch connected to the back of the NVR. This tutorial is not for initializing cameras on the back PoE of your NVR, the ones that integrate into the back, because those automatically do that. This whole thing that I'm trying to do here, this is only for systems set up over a network. Click on this, and then now you need to initialize it. It says use local password and email. It's asking you, do you want to take the username and password for your admin user and set it on the camera? Yes, I do. What IP address do you want to set it to? I cannot change anything here and leave it at 108, and it'll initialize the camera to be 108. Or I can set it to 109. So now, the next camera, when I connect it, won't have the same trouble of having an IP address conflict, because this will be 108 and the next camera will be 108. You got to keep addressing your cameras with numbers that are in sequence, or whichever way you want them, to make sure that the default 108 IP is not in conflict with an existing camera. You can even do this procedure with multiple cameras. If you had multiple, you could have checkboxed all of them, initialize them together, and set an incremental value to 1, and it will in sequence initialize them together. I'm not doing that in this video. But what I just did is I initialized it, and I set an IP on it, and it says initialization OK. You need to see the screen and make sure you notice here it says succeed. Otherwise, even when it fails, it gives you a yellow bar and it'll say fail here. You've got to make sure you watch this area carefully. Now it's done. I don't see my camera anymore here, so I'm going to click on this. Now search the network for all the cameras, and my 109 camera is right here now, and if I wanted to, I can just click on it and hit add. It simply adds the camera and syncs the video. I get a green light. That's because the username and password on the NVR is the same as the camera. Now, should you go back and you've messed around with the password on the camera or on the NVR for the admin user, everything will break. So don't do that, please. Thanks for watching.